When my husband lifted his wine glass and calmly said he was in love with another woman. The restaurant went silent. He waited for me to cry, to beg. But I didn't. Instead, I smiled. That silence, my silence, was the beginning of his downfall. If you've ever dreamed of watching karma strike in the most poetic way possible, hit that like button. Because this story isn't just about betrayal. It's about quiet revenge that speaks louder than any scream. My name's Elena Foster, and for 14 years, I believed I was living the kind of life every woman dreams of. A loving husband, Daniel, a stable home, 2 kids, and a marriage that everyone around us envied. I met Daniel when we were both 25. He was confident, charming, the kind of man who could make a crowded room feel smaller just by walking into it. I was quieter, an elementary school art teacher who saw beauty in small things. Where he was loud, I was gentle. Where he was spontaneous, I was careful. We were the balance couple, everyone said so. But balance, I learned, can easily tip when one side stops holding its weight. Over the years, Daniel's job in marketing started consuming him. Long hours, networking events, late-night calls. He'd come home smelling like cologne I didn't recognize and say it was from shaking hands with clients. I wanted to believe him. I did believe him, until I couldn't anymore. Started small. He became more distant. I'd tell him about a student's drawing that made me laugh, and he'd nod without looking up from his phone. Then he began criticizing me, my clothes, my boring stories, my small ambitions. He used to say I was the heart of our home. Now he said I was too sensitive. The first real warning came from my friend Mara, who worked in Daniel's company. She called me one evening, her voice careful. "Elena, I think Daniel's seeing someone from work. Her name's Clara. She's in PR." The world didn't crash immediately. Tilted. When Daniel came home that night, humming to himself, I asked casually, "Who's Clara?" He froze. Just for half a second, but enough for me to see everything. Then he smiled. "Just someone from work, why?" I said, "Oh, no reason." That night, I cried quietly into my pillow while he snored beside me. 2 weeks later, he told me we were going out for dinner. To talk, he said. I thought maybe, just maybe, he wanted to fix things. We went to La Vera, the restaurant where we'd celebrated our 10th anniversary. Candlelight, soft piano, and the smell of roasted garlic and wine. Halfway through the meal, Daniel put down his fork, looked me in the eye and said, "Elena, I'm in love with someone else." Time stopped. He didn't whisper it. He said it like an announcement, as if he were proud of it. "Her name is Clara. We didn't mean for it to happen, but it did. She understands me. We connect." He waited for my reaction. For the tears, the begging, the "how could you?" But I didn't move. I took a sip of my wine and said, "Thank you for telling me." His brows knit in confusion. "You're not angry?" Smiled. "No, Daniel. You've just made everything so much easier." The silence that followed was thick enough to slice through. He didn't know it yet, but that moment marked the beginning of his end. You see, I didn't believe in screaming or throwing things. I believed in precision. While Daniel spent nights working late, I spent mine learning. I quietly spoke to a lawyer, gathered documents, bank statements, property papers, and I discovered something interesting. Daniel had transferred several $1,000s to an unmarked account. Clara's account. He wasn't just cheating on me emotionally. He was funding his affair with our money. So I started planning. Step 1, play along. I acted like nothing was wrong. Cooked his favorite meals, smiled at his stories, even asked about Clara like I was curious. Not angry. He grew comfortable, floppy. He stopped hiding things on his phone. Stopped pretending. Step 2, prepare the fall. I created copies of every document showing financial misconduct. His secret transfers, his lies to the company about business expenses, the emails between him and Clara, which I found on his work laptop when he left it unlocked. And step 3, time it perfectly. When he told me he wanted a trial separation, I nodded and said I understood. He moved into an apartment temporarily. What he didn't know was that the lease, paid by him, was actually in my name. And my lawyer was waiting for the right moment to serve him divorce papers along with evidence of financial fraud, since he'd used company funds to finance his affair trips. 3 weeks later, his company hosted their annual gala. Daniel was being promoted to regional director, and Clara, now his plus one, was glowing beside him in a red dress that probably cost more than my monthly salary. I arrived late. Alone. When people saw me, whispers started. Everyone knew me as Daniel's wife. Now I was just Elena. But that night, I wasn't there to reclaim him. I was there to end him. Halfway through the speeches, Daniel took the stage to thank everyone. He was charming, smooth, everything he always pretended to be. Then the company's CFO, Mr. Hanley, approached the podium with a serious face. He said, "Before we proceed, there's an urgent matter to address." He motioned to the projector behind him. Emails, bank transfers, receipts, all of them displayed for the entire company. Daniel's smile fell. The crowd murmured. And then came the hammer. Mr. Foster has been using company funds for personal expenses, including travel and gifts for an employee, Clara Whitmore. Effective immediately. Both are suspended pending investigation. The room erupted in gasps. Clara turned white. Daniel stammered. I sat quietly at my table, sipping champagne. When his eyes found mine across the room, I raised my glass slightly, the same way I had at dinner. That silence again, the one that terrified him now more than any words ever could. The next morning he came to the house. Our house, furious. "You did this to me. You ruined my life." I looked at him calmly. "No, Daniel. You did that when you chose her over everything we built." He sank onto the couch, face in his hands. "I've lost my job. She's gone. Everyone knows." I handed him the divorce papers. "You'll also lose the house because technically it's in my name. And I've already withdrawn my share of the joint account." He looked up at me like a broken man. "You planned this, all along." I smiled softly. "I didn't plan revenge, Daniel. Plan peace. It just happened to cost you everything." He left without another word. Took months to rebuild. I sold the house, moved closer to the coast, and started an online art studio for kids. Sometimes late at night, I'd think about that dinner. The wine, the flickering candlelight, his smug smile. And then I'd remember his expression at the gala. The shock, the panic, the realization. That was my closure. Not his apology, not his regret. Just the peace that came from knowing I'd walked away without lowering myself to his level. My silence had been the loudest scream of all. When I think back to that dinner now, I realize I didn't lose a husband. I lost a man who never deserved me. He wanted drama, tears, chaos. What he got instead was silence. Cold, deliberate, and devastating. That's the kind of revenge no one forgets. Sometimes the best revenge isn't screaming or breaking things. It's walking away so calmly that they start breaking themselves. Silence, when earned, can be the loudest justice of all. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button and tell me in the comments. Would you have stayed silent or given him a piece of your mind? Don't forget to subscribe for more true style revenge stories every week.